Hello and welcome back to Heal for Real, where we talk about toxic relationships, narcissistic abuse, and how we can heal for real from all the trauma. Today, we are talking about the beginning signs or the subtle signs of manipulation, where the love ends up turning into control. Have you ever looked back on a relationship and thought, wait a minute, this person is trying to control me? Now, it didn't start off that way. At first, it was perfect, too good to be true. Most someone is too good to be true. It is. They said all the right things. It's like they knew what to say. They made you feel safe. They made you feel seen, heard, chosen. And they have on the Batman cape because you feel like you're being rescued. But slowly, something changes. It starts off as love, and it slowly turns into control. And it happens before you realize it. You definitely don't see it until you're already in too deep. Until you about doggone near married or are married. So, the beginning, the love bombing, the bait and hook. At the beginning, the narcissist comes in really strong. Like really strong, like almost like you don't even know, like all this good stuff is happening and it's just like, wait. But you don't want to wait, like you're accepting all this stuff, but at the same time, you're not even getting a chance to really think because all this stuff, honey, dopamine boosts are definitely happening. It's definitely going there. It's definitely in the room with us when we're getting all this love bombing. You're so high off all the kindness and the good gestures and the charisma and the gifts and the compliments that you don't have much time to really think about what's going on. But in the back of your head, some of us, we're like, I don't know how to take all this. And you almost feel, I know I felt sometimes too uncomfortable to even take all of the compliments or the gifts or whatever. I don't know. It wasn't a sense of, being unworthy. Like, I had been told like, oh, your past relationships made you feel like you're unworthy of all these things. And that's not the case. You just like every time I turn around, like you're giving me a compliment or you're just saying all these nice things or you're doing all these nice things that it just seems, and I'm gonna keep saying it seems unfreaking real. But that's called love bombing. So they find out your interests, they find out what you love, they mirror you, they study you. You're like a college course. They study you. They know your pain. They know what hurts you. They know all about your dreams. Sometimes even asking you like, what are your dreams? And you're like, ain't nobody ever asked me that before. Like this person, okay. They into me, so, and they may seem like good listeners, and they are. We're not the only ones that are empaths here. They're also empaths. Not necessarily empathetic, but they're empaths to the degree that they're observant. They're very observant. They will play like they aren't observant, like they don't pay attention to anything, but they are paying attention to everything. They are the kings and queens of body language. Like they know everything. They are looking to see what triggers you, what bothers you. They are looking for certain facial expressions. Maybe you lean to the side whenever you're uncomfortable. They are looking for all of this stuff in the beginning, in the love bombing phase. They're trying to see what's going on. They're trying to see when you're happy, how you feel when you're happy. So that's this phase right here. The other stuff where they're trying to observe your mannerisms and your actions, that's going to come a little bit later. But right now, they know what makes you happy. And right now, they're getting pleasure from making you happy because you're making it about them. It's still praise for them either way. They're still getting something out of the deal. Me saying or you saying, oh, you're so wonderful, and nobody's ever done that for me, and no one listens to me, and you're just such a great person. They are getting a rise off of this as well. You expressing feelings about bad relationships, they're listening to all of that. And don't worry, everything you said, say, and do will be held against you later. Trust me. Later on, all of that will, blow up in your face. Don't worry, it's coming soon. While you're up here on this pedestal, they're gonna act like they're so in love and you're what they prayed for, and they never met anyone like you. They want to be around you all the time. They're just, I'm embarrassed. And you're like, why are you embarrassed? I'm embarrassed because there's so many things that I want to say to you and I don't know how to say them. I'm embarrassed because I might be a bit of a bugaboo and I might be getting on your nerves. And this has happened to me in the past where, I was so clingy. I was so clingy that I pushed them away, and I'm afraid I'm going to do that with you. And these are things that you want to hear because you got this handsome man, who seems to have everything under control. Everything is great about them. They have the looks and they're charismatic and they're smart. And they're great conversationalists, and they're giving you all this stuff, and they're tall, and they're tall and dark and handsome. And you're like, you push somebody away? Like, oh God, they had to be a complete butthole, to push you away. Why would you do that? I don't care how clean you are. I would never get tired of you. That's what you're saying to them. Like, I'm just so embarrassed by it or whatever, and I just hope that I don't push you away. And I have to say it in that voice because that you'll hear that voice often. But yeah, no one's understood me. No one's ever understood me like you. And if the person is saying like they suffer from depression, they will say, when I talked about, these things with other, even them being clingy, or the stuff that they said that was embarrassing and they didn't know how to tell you because they were so embarrassed, they would tell their exes, and their exes would just like, hey, they would brush them off, or they would embarrass them or make them feel like they were crazy. And just keep in mind, everything that they're saying about the ex and what they did. Oh, yes, the ex didn't listen to them. The ex ignored them. The ex ignored them. They took advantage. I did so many things for them. The same thing I'm doing for you now. And you're so appreciative. But my ex, she was never appreciative. She wanted more from me. And I was giving all this time, and she wanted more time from me, to the point I just didn't know what to do. I've given you everything, and you were still ungrateful. You still would talk to me crazy. They said this to me, and it's something that's really mean. But actually, you'll find out later, and you'll realize later, everything that they're saying about the ex is actually them. They are the ex. It's not the ex. I mean, don't get me wrong. The ex may have said those things, but what I've come to realize is if the ex did say something like that, you probably triggered it, because they are if throw your rock, hide your hand was a person, and my younger people looking at this video may not know what that means. I'm not sure, but yeah, throw a rock, hide your hand, basically do something and then act like you didn't do it. If that was a person, it would be the narcissist. Yes, you're on this pedestal. They're doing all this stuff, and they're giving you all this attention. They're flooding you with gifts. They taking out loans and credit cards and sleeping with women for money and taking money from them and bamboozling out of their money to buy stuff for you because you're the new supply, you the new clown. And I have to say it that way because oftentimes I see on other channels where people are calling the new supply clowns, but baby, you was that clown before too. So go ahead and be the joker for Halloween because, honey, we Pennywise. You know, we Bozo the Clown. Okay, we are the clown, the new clown. We were once the new clown, now it's a newer clown. But everybody, if you dealt with a narcissist and you dated a narcissist, all of us have been clowns. But it feels like divine timing, because oftentimes when we enter these things, we're coming in from a bad relationship, or the past relationship was horrible and this person was horrible to us. So basically this person now is a breath of fresh air. Our Batman is a breath of fresh air. It seems unreal, and they are, in fact, and they're saying that you're everything they pray, but they're in fact everything you prayed for. They are everything because they have felt their way around to be who it is that you want them to be before. When they say love bomb, yeah, they're love bombing you, but the bomb ain't went off yet. The bomb about to go off. So you're slowly but surely paying for, how you pay monthly for your cruises or your expeditions and things like that. You are slowly but surely paying in increments your bus ticket to hell. So all of this is actually, again, them mirroring you. The love bombing, that stage isn't about the love. They may think that they're in love. I'm not saying that these people don't have feelings. No, they are in fact on a high themselves. Like I said, they're getting a rise off of your reactions to what they're doing, because right now they are the stuff. They are it right now, because you're just like, oh, your guy, you're so wonderful. You are incredible. You listen, and you're giving them all these compliments. But at the same time, it's not about the love, because they know exactly what they're doing. It's about the possession, because I am doing this. And I'm going to, a few months or a year or whatever, or years or whatever down the road, my mask is going to come off. I know this about myself. It's going to slip, but I need to get you to agree to me chaining you up to my other leg so that so you're drug along for the ride and you stay with me. So I need to do this. I need to bait and hook, give you the nice worm. And then you're a fish on the hook, because you're hooked in now before the bomb explodes or before we arrive at Hades Hotel, right? So they're building this emotional dependency so fast. So again, when the mask slips later, it's too late and you're already attached. I know often there are friends and family and just people around you that know when you're in these relationships, they know about the relationships. They know that the other person is dirt. And they are either when things start to come out about the person, cheating or treating you horribly, it gets through others' ears and they're just like, why is he or she still with this person? When oftentimes you have to be in one of these relationships to understand, because of the fact that this person, it's hard if someone has love bombed you, like I described before, who they are, and I don't know if I need to do like a reenactment video or something where I'm showing you guys what it looks like or what it feels like. Like I said, they are getting loans and credit cards to pay for all this stuff. You're getting all these Louis Vuitton bags. Yeah, you're getting all these gifts. You're getting diamonds and money and in some cases it's not even that. It's just attention. You're getting all this attention, all these compliments, all this help. They're helping you around the house. They're doing all of this stuff for you. And you got to think about, nothing bad has happened for a stretch. You have went months to a year, 2 years with all of these good things, not even one argument. If You see some woman complimenting him on social media. Oh, he's blocking them. He's doing all of this stuff. He's listening to you. He's giving you everything that you've ever desired in a man, or they're giving you everything that you desire in a person. They're hooking you in. So when people say, why in the world is she staying or he's staying to deal with all that? This is after, that phase, that love bombing phase fades off, and now they're a butthole. Why are you staying in it? Because you're in it because you're hoping that the first person return. You're also, because of the person doing all of these good deeds and giving you all this attention, and they're so good, when the mask slips and they say something ugly or they do something ugly or they cheat or whatever, and you're like, what happened? And they'll say, well, I felt you, blah, blah, blah. And they will say something like, oh, because maybe you weren't available when I wanted to take you out spur of the moment. And you couldn't leave the infant at home, hollering and crying. So therefore that's why, or you had something else, Lord forbid, you had something else planned for that day. So you couldn't, and again, it's last minute. It's like, hey, you want to go out to so-and-so, and it could be this exquisite place. And you can't go because you had already planned for another event that they may even know about. But anyway, you plan because that's another argument too, because once you tell them, like, hey, I told you about it, they be like, no, you didn't. And that's another, gaslighting tool or gaslighting scenario that I can give you. They'll either deny that you even told them or feel rejected because they don't like rejection. So you telling them no, that you, even granted you had something else to do or you had to work or do any of that, they're upset now. And so they end up falling some kind of way, plummeting in somebody else's bed. Because you told them no under circumstances that you could not control, but you told them no. But anyway, and they'll rationalize it later, but that's another video. Yes, so then after all the love bombing, something happens that they don't like that you did. So now they have to seek revenge and they have to get you back, tit for tat. They have to get you back. They're upset. So they go and take this revenge out on you, or they punish you. Control. They punish you like they're your daddy or they're your mama or something. But they go out and they do whatever, or they say whatever to hurt your feelings or to hurt you. Or they take one of the little tidbits you gave them at the beginning of the relationship about yourself, or a negative thing about yourself. And you're forgetful. So you forgot to tell me that you had something else going on. That makes me feel bad when you do that. It makes me feel like you don't respect the relationship because you made these plans without me knowing. So it'll be like a scenario like that. They are going to make you feel like it's you. So here we are, back to what I was saying before. People are talking about you, wondering why you stayed in this thing or why you're staying in this thing, because of the fact that this person was so nice. And now they're not, on the count of something that I did. Even though work should come first or I'm going to get fired, I didn't let him know, even though I probably let him know. But now I'm sick against myself. Well, maybe I didn't let him know. He's usually good about, listening or whatever. He never forgets anything. See? And I made him do, because like I told you, the cycle keeps happening. Your other relationships were bad. So now you took this good person who was good, because he didn't treat you like, the other relationships didn't treat you like this. So now you took this good person and now they're angry with you and they're upset with you and they're going, other places to find comfort instead of with you, because they're saying you made them feel neglected. So now you're just like, oh, maybe it's me. And you're trying to stay with the person and trying to fix things. So you're the one trying to, and most of the people that attract narcissists are people who are empaths, who are genuinely sweet people, and people who like to fix things. So you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out how do I fix this? How I need to fix it, because I've taken this good person and I've just made them into something that they are not. And one day I'm going to get that person that they showed me in the beginning. I'm going to get that back. But honey, that person never, ever existed. That person is you. The twisting of reality. I have already went over some of that when I said that they'll say things like that never happened, or you never told me that. They will rewrite the whole thing, even denying things that they did. They or deny whether or not they didn't tell you something. I had a case like that where they said that they had to do something. They had, already planned to do something. And I was like, well, and it was something kind of detrimental or whatever, or something that would be important for me to know. And I said, and one day I'll be able to basically give my story, but I can't right now. They basically said that they did tell me and I don't listen. And they was like, that's going to be frustrating in the future because you don't listen. So I'm just like, you ain't never tell me that. you ain't never said, like, because why would I forget something like that? So then I asked, well, what did I say when you told me? And he says, it doesn't matter. I told you. And I'm like, no. I said, well, you should be able to tell me what it is I said. Did I say okay? I'm not sure what you said, but I know that I told you. Oh, okay. And that's when I should have saw crazy from across the street and went a running. But like I said, I was already in too deep. Yeah, you'll hear things like that never happened. Basically, yeah, you were never there. And you're just like naming all these times that you were there. And they're like, no, you didn't do any of that. And then you'll hear things like when you get to crying and crying and begging and pleading because, they've done something or whatever. That's when you'll hear that you're too sensitive or you're dramatic or you're tripping. Like I said in the last video, I hate that. You're tripping. If I hear that means, or anything remotely similar to that, that's it for me. So, or the sharing of information in the beginning and they use it against you like, oh, this is why all of your other exes did X, Y, Z. This is why they all cheated because, it's you. It's not me. It has nothing to do with me. It's you. You're doing these things and it's causing me to do it too. You always take things the wrong way. You don't have a sense of humor. What happened to your sense of humor? What happened? You've gotten so serious. You didn't take things seriously. You used to be so much fun. And you just like, that was really mean what you said. They might say something like, they might look at the picture, like if I saw you coming, like you ain't the one that I would talk to, even though they basically holler at you anyway because you're in a relationship with them, right? So they were the one that approached you, but now like you looking at a picture of me where I know, you know that you're looking cute on a picture and they're just and they're knocking you down. Like, I wouldn't, if I saw you out, I'm using that example. But anyway, if I saw you out, I wouldn't even approach you. Like, okay. And then you like, for real? And then you something like, why you approach me? Get another relationship. Like, why did you approach me to begin with? Oh, I was just kidding. You can't take a joke. No, you said it that 10 times that you wouldn't. And I tried to verify. Like at first I'm laughing and then you keep saying it. So I'm like, I'm just trying to verify whether or not that's real or not. You start questioning yourself. You start questioning your memory. Like, well, maybe he did say something I didn't hear it. You start questioning your feelings. Maybe I am sensitive. Maybe I am losing. Maybe I am too serious, because we used to joke all the time. Maybe I took that the wrong way. You slowly start to allow the person to say things that are hurtful, but you laugh them off like they're not. You start acting yourself. You start becoming someone else. You stop expressing your feelings. You stop telling the person how you feel. And yeah, we start walking on eggshells because we don't want them to think of us in that negative light, because we don't want to lose this person, because this person is so good to us and we don't want to lose them. We don't want to be the cause of that. I remember saying that. I started saying that I feel like I'm being controlled. I feel like I have to be perfect all the time. I cannot have an off day. You're allowed to have an off day. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to have all these big feelings, but I can't. So I have to be a robot. I said that I feel like I have to be a robot. And I am sure this person has heard this before. I'm sure they've heard it several times, but they're sitting there looking at you like they all confused, like, what you mean by that? But they know doggone well what you mean, because they did it. They did it on purpose. Gaslighting is the part that makes you depend on their version of reality. So like I said, you're listening to them and everything that they're saying that you are or you're not, you're either trying to avoid it or you're trying to be it. And you just don't want to, you don't want the glass to crack. You don't. You're trying, and it's psychologically controlling you. Plain and simple. Like it is controlling your every move, your every word, to the point where you're not even yourself anymore and you have lost who you are. The outspoken person you may have been, or the confident person that you may have been, you have now lost that. And maybe you weren't confident to begin with, and this relationship is the straw that breaks the camel's back. So isolation, that's another form of control. They will cut you off from your support. So once they know that you are hooked, the bait and hooked, they will start separating you from your support system, your friends, your family, your church, anything that pretty much makes you a better person or that could support you. Even your own peace, because they need to strip you away from all of that. They need to strip you away from your confidence. They need to strip all of that away and strip you right on down to the bone. They took the chicken off the bone and the gristle too, and you were just this bone or whatever, and they stripped you all the way down there. And that way I'm able to control you better. That way I'm able to string you up and play you around and play you around like a puppet. They'll say things like, I don't feel, because you love this person, they'll say something like, I don't feel like your family likes me. Your family ain't saying nothing like that. Eventually your family may not like them, but your family ain't saying nothing like that. I feel this way. I do remember this, and this is a broad statement. I do remember confronting the person I was with, not confronting, but discussing something that bothered me with the person. And I don't even think that I brought it up. I think that my family brought it up. I don't even know what it was, but I think they brought it up. And I think later on, they were like, don't ever do that in front of your family again. And I was like, I wasn't even the one that brought it up, but I'm their child or whatever. And I know their thing was like raising their voice or something like that. And they would, and by them raising their voice or talking to me in a stern way, that would control me. I mean, it did, but eventually it did not. Like I tell them now, like, honey, you don't scare me. They said that to me, and they told me basically they would never, come around again. And they would say things like they'll say, well, not even them, but they say things like your friends are jealous of you. They're saying they're actually the ones that are making you depressed. I wish I could move you away from all these people. And child, you do it if you want to. if you haven't, you start spending all of your time with them because it feels easier than dealing with the conflict or this arguing with them about your friends and family or spending time with them because you don't want to tick them off. You don't want to cause them to go and sleep with someone else because you're with your friends and family, because they'll do that too. They'll be like, well, you was with them and I felt neglected, so I had to go over here. So, but that's the plan. The isolation, keeps you control. And basically they need to control you enough because we know we got this investment. They got on Hell's Vacation. We got an investment to Hell's Vacation. And you slowly but surely just paying for this jet flight to hell. Yes. If they can shut off all of the outside voices of all of the people that make sense, and their voice becomes the only one that you trust, that's how they tighten the grip. If you are seeing yourself in any of the things that I just described, please know that you are not crazy. And once again, like I said, please, by all means, get the help you need. You need to talk to someone. If you feel like you cannot get out and you're unhappy and this person is weighing you down, please, by all means, get out. You have been conditioned to doubt yourself, or you were conditioned to doubt yourself. And this is what I want you to remember. Healthy love doesn't require confusion, fear, or walking on eggshells. Healthy love gives you freedom. It gives you your wings, not control. Love does not want to control you. Love wants you to be free. It wants you to feel alive. It doesn't want you to a point where you're only pleasing them and you're getting nothing out of it. You've been love bombed and gaslit, and or even isolated, and it's not your fault. Narcissistic manipulation it's strategic, it's planned, and anyone with empathy can get caught in. You're the empath with empathy, and they're the empath with just, observation. They're just super observant. But you are observant and you feel things. That's the difference. You feel things and you feel emotions. So you genuinely want to help. And actually, they're very jealous of that. And they want to use that. And they want to drain all of that from you. But here's the beautiful thing. Watching my video or anyone else's video is the first step to freedom. All right? Getting help. Whether it be this and you're here and you haven't gotten the help yet, this is the first step, and getting help is the second step. I can't stress that enough. No, this is my third time saying that, but please, please, by all means, even if you think you're okay, you're really not okay. In closing, you have experienced subtle control that looked like love at first. I would love to hear your stories. I genuinely would love to hear other people's stories, because listening to other people's stories and listening to other people go through what you have went through, what I have went through, it is a form of coping. Sometimes when you know that it's not you and you swap the stories and you're like, oh gosh, so I wasn't crazy. Like I wasn't wrong. I wasn't the cause of this. Sometimes when you hear those and you swap those stories, it helps you grow. It helps you get through. It helps you see what you need to do in order to gain your strength back and gain your confidence back. Again, thank you for coming. This is your path to healing for real. Thank you, and have a very blessed week.